my show had value and that, I'm sorry, that what I was doing had value.
Watch and see Piers Morgan brutally roast former failed MSNBC anchor Joy Reid during an appearance on his show. Folks, I think you're going to like this, all right? Joy Reid, thank God she is no longer on TV. You know, I almost forgot it happened. I was just too busy enjoying myself, sipping on my coffee, thinking about how great life was. But I think it's been, over half a year she was fired. Crazy. All right, I'll have to check that, but I think that's pretty much right. And it's a beautiful thing. So with all that being said, we are going to get right into it. But first, do me a big favor, like our video and share it around. That way we can keep bringing you guys this great, hard-hitting content. As always, Patriots, I'm your host, Darian, and this is Resist the Mainstream.
Away, denaturalizing. That's Idi Amin behavior. There's a black fascist that you can compare it to.
Okay, let's move on to, I want to just play a clip of when you lost your job at MSNBC. Let's watch this.
My show had value and that, I'm sorry, that what I was doing had value. And in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry on TV. And whether it's talking about any of these issues and yes, whether it's talking about Gaza and the fact that we as the American people have a right to object, to little babies being bombed. And I am not sorry that I stood up for those things because those things are of God. And you know, I'm a church girl too, and those are the things that I was taught were of God. And so I'm not sorry. I'm just proud of my show.
Now, look, you're perfectly entitled to be proud of your show. Many people enjoyed your show for many years. You know, a lot of people at NBC were briefing that the reason was declining ratings post the election, a 47% decrease in your election, in ratings from pre-election. But you told Mark Lamont Hill on his show this.
After I said on my show that the reason Americans could relate to Ukrainians in a way that they didn't relate to Palestinians, that Ukrainians are white. And so watching white people get their schools bombed was, you know, hit different. That hit our ratings. I mean, it definitely, we could see the loss of white viewers from that moment that I said that. So they were like, we don't like the name calling. And also I'm a black woman. So, I mean, I'm sure it makes him angrier, you know, when I say things. Maybe because I am a global South person myself, you know, I mean, as a black person, we have a different empathy toward other global South people when they are suffering. And so we're going to come at that story from a different angle and in a different way and with different kinds of empathies. And I think that's not always received very well in the news business.
Now, Joy, I mean, look, let's be honest. I don't think you were fired after all those years because of your skin color or because you're a black woman. I think you were fired because your show just got increasingly unpopular. It happens all the time in TV. That's why you got let go. Why play the race card?
First of all, I love the fact that your play the race card is your version of the race card. You literally are so fixated on trying to racialize conversations with me, Piers, that I find it actually quite charming.
You racialize more conversations in your tenure at MSNBC than any host in history.
All right, Piers. And the bottom line is you take an entire conversation that I had with Mark Lamont Hill and pick the bits that you can racialize because this is your shtick. And I get that this is your shtick.
You racialize everything, Joy. Come on.
I get it. I understand this is your shtick, Piers. And listen, game recognizes game. I get this is your game.
It's not my shtick.
And the bottom line,
it was your shtick.
It is your shtick, and everyone knows that it is.
It was your shtick.
Piers, we understand what it is. And it is so interesting to me that you yourself, as a white European, find that when people of color talk about race, that you believe is racializing conversations. But when people like you fixate on, well, Barack Obama was a black president, why don't you object to that? That is racializing a conversation about the former president of the United States. But you can't put your, and I'm sure you find that charming and funny.
I find it hilarious because you're the one. You're the one who said. You're the one who said Donald Trump.
You and your friend Donald Trump.
You said Donald Trump is a white.
This is a classic leftist tactic of first denying it, then saying, "Oh, well, maybe I do it a little bit, but you do it first." Notice how she said. I think she just said game recognizes game. It's kind of hard to catch, but yeah, exactly, Joy. So you're admitting that you do it yourself, right after saying, well, no, you're actually doing it, but maybe I do it, but you do it more. It doesn't even make sense, okay? And the left does this on all sorts of topics, all right? A recent macro example, look at the border. How many Democrats and leftists in the media were saying not that long ago that, well, actually, Donald Trump doesn't want to secure the border. He shot down a bipartisan border bill. Biden was trying and he couldn't do it. Really? Biden, the guy who let in 10 to 11 million or more illegal aliens in the United States within a 4-year span. That guy, he's trying to secure the border and the Republicans are stopping him? Okay. Honk, honk. Clown world, guys. Clown world.
He is I agree with
Mark Obama
Milley,
did the same thing.
Last time I checked, is not
allowed to mention his skin color.
I agree with his former chief of staff, who last I checked was not black and said he's fascist, and Mark Milley said he's fascist to the core. Okay. So I happen to agree, and I know this is what it's important to you, with two very white gentlemen about Donald Trump's tendencies. Okay. If that makes you sad and uncomfortable, I can't help you, Piers.
No, it doesn't make me sad and uncomfortable. I think it makes you a little bit of a hypocrite, but that's different.
That isn't the only moment of the interview where Morgan managed to absolutely troll Joy Reid. All right, check this part out where he has a surprise guest come in. Little did Joy expect it.
Let's just end with this. Not everyone was upset when you were fired. Plenty of those white conservative men that you like so much seem quite happy. Let's just take a look at this clip.
Joy Reid, probably the nastiest figure on MSNBC. Ooh. The most left, the most vicious against conservatives and white people and men and all the rest. She has just been canned, fired, kicked to the side of the road. Her show is over. This saddens me a little bit because I did not yet have the opportunity to go on it. I am celebrating that there is no longer a market for her disgusting product. That's what I'm genuinely happy about. There has been a major shift. Her show and shows like her show no longer have value. And that's not just because of Joy Reid's favorite villains, the evil white man or the Christians or the conservatives. It's because no one watches her show.
So, Joy, I've actually got Michael Knowles waiting in the wings.
Great.
Is there anything you'd like to say to him?
No.
What did you?
She is so upset.
What do you make of his critique of your show?
Well, I mean, the reality is that obviously people watched the show, and obviously that's the reason that the show was on for 4.5, nearly 5 years. So if he didn't like the show, I guess, sorry you didn't enjoy it, but I really am not that interested in his views on it.
Okay, well, we've got Michael there. Michael, anything you want to say to Joy?
Yes, wonderful to be here, Joy. Very nice to meet you. And I guess I would agree with Joy's take. People watched the show in the past tense, and now there's no longer a market for that absolutely vile content. And I think that's good for the culture broadly. And now we can all chat on Piers's show.
That was absolutely brutal. I don't know about you guys, but I have to sympathize with Joy Reid just a little bit. I, for one, do not like surprises like that, so that was tough. But I can't say I feel sorry for her either, because she's constantly talking about how white people are so terrible and evil and all the rest of it. And, it's like, I was going to say go to somewhere, but that's not charitable. So I'll just say get lost, all right? We don't want to hear that, and we don't like that. With all that being said, everybody, thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate it. As always, folks, very, very important. Make sure you comment below. Let us know what you liked about the clip, what kind of stuff you want to see in the future. And if you have not already, hit that subscribe button. And that way we will see you again soon. God bless.